You're live. Ooh. What's up, everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami here, and Halloween month begins technically with this live stream. Or is it a dead stream? Okay, seriously though. What's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju no Kami. It's been a while since I've done a live stream Q&A just because there's so much going on with teaching that I haven't had the chance to do a Q&A because really when I'm home, there's times where I just don't want to do anything. I just want to sit, watch movies or a TV show or play video games. Especially Resident Evil since I'm in the middle of Resident Evil Village right now. What else has been going on? Krelika and I just went through the audiobook of Dracula. So now we've been watching all the movie adaptations for Dracula. And what else? Obviously, I just got my Kyoruger review done. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know some people are asking, so when's the next Sentai review? Let me first just enjoy the fact that I'm done with Kyoruger since it took me like 2 months to edit that review. Okay? I don't know what the next Sentai review is going to be yet. It will be either Lupin vs. Pot or Ryu Soldier. I keep going back and forth. I keep leaning towards one. I'm like, well, I mean, Lupin Ranger comes next, so I want to do that. But I want to do Ryu Soldier to get Ryu Soldier knocked out. So I don't know. I'll worry about figuring that out at the end of the month because I'm not going to start watching either series until November anyway, since this month is all dedicated to watching horror stuff. And the hope is that I will be able to get through whichever Sentai show I do next for review at the end of the year, hopefully Christmas. I am also currently watching the original Digimon series. So when we're watching that with Silverquill, when I get through that, I will review the first Digimon season. And I'm working on Lupin the Third Part 2, but that's going to take a while because it's 155 episodes, and we've only gotten through 10 so far. And then we are 10 episodes into the Gavin Blu-ray. I'm working on, I was currently writing a script for Ju-on the Curse, which is going to be my first review for this month. I'm hoping I can film it Monday or Tuesday. I guess tomorrow or Tuesday, but we'll see. I've got that, and I'm going to have a Resident Evil retrospective that's going to come out for Halloween. And we'll see what else I get to tackle this month. I'm looking to probably do Ju-on the Curse 2, and if I have time, a top 10 Night Gallery episodes video. All right, let's see who is on here currently before I continue rambling. Chris, finally we have a live stream, a special kind of live stream. Yes. Cherry Fluff Belly Official, I'm alive again. It's alive. It's alive. Have you heard of this channel on YouTube? Omi Pro channels and independent I don't know. I don't think I have heard of Omi Pro. This is Halloween. Welcome, Zio King. Have you ever been a fan of Danny Phantom? I've actually never watched Danny Phantom, so I can't say. Octopo Canvas, hello. What's up, man? CJG Toys, welcome. 25th anniversary of Halloween Town. I have never actually seen Halloween Town. Nick Cooper, welcome back. But really, Krelika? I'm going to ignore that one. I'm just going to report that as spam. No response. Okay. Okay. She's not responding. It's crazy because it's been quite a bit of while since you did live stream Q&A since the beginning of July, but why didn't you make an August live stream? Like I said, I just July 31st, I got a call offering me a full-time teaching position for the school year that started on August 2nd. So it was a sudden whiplash. It took me like 2 weeks to finally figure out what just happened. So I just haven't had time and haven't been in the mood to do one. I was almost ready to just not do the live stream today. I'm push it off till next week, but then I decided let's just do it today because we're going out to lunch with Silver Quill at 1 o'clock. So I figured I don't have much time to do anything. Might as well do the live stream this morning. Then next Saturday I can focus on finishing Resident Evil Village. Hold on, Digimon to the ripoff of Pokemon. Don't start with me with this crap. I'll tell you, I prefer Digimon over Pokemon. At least Digimon 1 had an ending right from the start. It didn't drag on for 60,000 years. And the characters actually grew up. Star Wars fan. Hey, Kaiju. Happy October. Happy October to you as well. Deny. I heard rumors that Boon Boom Gerb be Orange Ranger. I haven't heard any rumors on Boon Boom Gerb outside of the name. If it really does have to do with sound, I'm pretty interested in seeing what they do. I'm hoping to keep up the momentum of Dom Brothers and King Oger and go like trying to do something different. Russian Wanderer, yo. Can you review the Robot Romance trilogy? I will. I probably will at some point if I ever get to actually have time to watch them. I own the Blu-rays for them. I just haven't had the chance to sit down and enjoy them. But I would like at some point to review those and Go Lion. Do you still miss Sentai being serious? Sentai's been serious these last 2 years. So yeah, it's been fantastic. Did you hear the anime is 15 this year and will you review it? Transformers anime is 15 years old? I thought it came out in 2007. Was it 2008? I thought it was 2007. But no, I won't review it because I just don't have time. Bagnarok. The Bagnarok were okay villains. I will say the Death Narok got much better in the end to make them that really made them better. But as it was going up until that point, they were average villains. Now, but I did like how that one episode managed to turn things around. They're nothing like spectacular, but it was an interesting twist. So I don't mind them as much. Yeah, Krellica likes to troll sometimes, but that's okay. I like to troll. How's it been, Blazer, King Oja, and Gotchard? Blazer's been fantastic. We haven't watched the last 2 episodes. We're going to do a live stream this Tuesday of episodes 11 and 12. Krellica had dental surgery last Tuesday, so we just have not been doing anything with Blazer, and it was a rough week at school, so haven't done much. I'm just happy I got my Kyoruger review done and finally fully done. King Oger has been awesome. We have not watched episodes 29 and 30 yet. We were originally going to do that yesterday with Silver Quill, but then some stuff happened with a friend's dog, so we'll probably have to wait till next week to do King Oger. Which by then we'll do 29, 30, and 31. And Gotchard, we have not continued at all since episode 1. We had rewatched episode 1 with Silver Quill, and Krellica and I found it even more boring than the first time we watched it. So we just have had no motivation to watch Gotchard at all. Maybe once Blazer's done, we'll go back and give Gotchard another chance. But right now, I have no interest in watching Gotchard. I actually have less interest in Gotchard now than I did with Geats. Geats I wasn't thrilled with at the beginning, but I had a little bit more intrigue to watch a few more episodes than I did with Gotchar. Gotchar, I'm just like, it's Wizard 2.0. Let's see. I hear Japan is making a memorial version in 2024 of the SBD Morpher. I heard something about that. I didn't pay attention, but that's kind of cool. I'm on Octopo Canvas says he's on episodes 5 episodes in Ultra 7, 10 in Gao, 15 in Kabuto, and 3 in Gavin. Nice. Nice.
Did you ignore my question?
You just noticed now?
Well, I've been working and I haven't been listening.
I just did a little thing on it like a few minutes ago.
Well, I'm recovering from surgery.
Blah blah blah. I said nope. Really? You post in the chat?
Well, somebody else posted that I live with you, but tell them I had surgery. I can't talk live.
It hasn't stopped you yet. All right. But so 5 in Ultra 7, 10 in Gao Ranger, 15 in Kabuto, and 3 in Gavin. I was kind of expecting to say 20 in Gavin, and considering you were going 5, 10, 15, and a 3. One of those does not match. That's cool. What are you thinking of those series so far? I'd say 7. I love. Gao Ranger is decent. Kabuto's decent. Gavin's decent. Agree with Digimon characters aging, but want to know what else I like about Digimon franchise. They change out the characters every new series except Adventure 2020. They use the first cast. Is that the remake? I'm assuming that's the remake of the first season. So far, we're like 18 episodes into season 1. I'm liking the show. It's a bit repetitive. And for me right now, the weakest link are the villains. Devimon had a cool design, but ultimately was a non-threat. And the new one that we have, the monkey dude, is a joke. I hate the monkey dude. He is a worthless villain. Is he supposed to be Elvis as a monkey? Because he looks kind of like Elvis as a monkey. But whatever. Anyway, I'd say right now the weakest link for Digimon are the villains. Chris, 1 out of 5. What is your opinion on Kira Majors and Kaiju and Don Brothers? Kira Major is a 3 or 4. Zen Kaiser is a 2. Don Brothers is a 4. And 5 episodes of the original Kamen Rider series. Can't wait for the next Sentai. Thoughts on G.I. Joe Classified? Well, I collect G.I. Joe Classified, so I am loving them. They are amazing. I wish I had the room to collect more. And money. Need money too. Because I would love to get the Snow Serpents, the Eels, Snow Job, Serpentor, but I don't have the room for them. Or the money. So I passed on them. Oh, and Wetsuit. I don't have the money for him. Was it Wetsuit? No, Torpedo. Torpedo's the one they did. But I'm excited because they've got Buzzer and Ripper coming out. General Hawk, even though he's not blonde. And oh god, who is that other one? There's one other that I'm excited for. Well, the new Scarlet is coming out, but there was another one I was excited for. Buzzer, Ripper. Oh, Shockwave. Shockwave's pretty cool too. Pick any Kamen Rider, be a US version after Ryuki Dragon Knight. I think Double. Double would work well as a US adaptation. We'll see if Gotchar gets better later. Like I said, I've lost all interest in it. We'll check it out maybe after Blazer's done. Chris, I just found it boring. I'm sitting there watching it like, when's this episode going to end? Russian Wanderer. When the final episode is great, it will turn a bad show into an okay one, right? It can. It can. The finale can make or break a show at times. You can have an amazing show completely ruined by its ending. No, we haven't checked Jiban out yet. Ultraman kaiju. Thoughts on Power Rangers Lightning Collection? You mean aside from Hasbro completely screwing up the collection, screwing fans over and everything? Yeah, I'm not getting into that. I'm just very disappointed in Hasbro, and I feel like I wasted my money on the teams that they never bothered to finish. I feel like I wasted my money on the remastered Blue Ranger because I decided to go with Shotos then, because what's the point of buying the series? And if they bring the Lightning Collection back, it'll probably be improved. So right now, I'm not wasting my money on anything else unless I find Minotaur, hopefully discounted, because I'd like to have the Minotaur go with the SMP Daijujin I'm getting soon. Well, it's in my Pile Big Bad. I'm waiting till I get some more stuff from Big Bad before I have it shipped, because I've got the SMP Dyrano on pre-order Big Bad. That's supposed to be coming in any day now. I've got the Quadruple Patrols, 2 sets of those coming from Big Bad. Then there's Creature from the Black Lagoon on pre-order. The SMP Galaxy Mega and Delta Mega on pre-order, which is supposedly coming out. I guess they can't come out in September because September just passed. All right. So Karelika had to have some dental surgery. She had to have her wisdom teeth taken out. Ooh. The Lundaris family from Time Ranger, I love them. I love a criminal family with a boss that actually cares about most of his minions. Um, it's different and intriguing to have the lead gangster care about his minions, where even like he cares more about them than actual corporations care about their employees. So I like the Lundaris family. Nick Cooper. I saw the episode of Dream of Soba from Time Ranger. I found it to be much worse than the Cup of Noodles episode from Jetman. I will still take the episode from Time Ranger over the Jetman one because it doesn't feature a creepy guy hitting on an underage girl. Star Wars fan, yes. Adventure 2020 is the remake of the first series, but it was 67. What? Why the hell was it 67 episodes? What more could they have done to it? Does it just follow the same story beat for beat, or did they do more with it? I haven't even seen Ghost Game, but from what I hear, Ghost Game was pretty damn boring because there were only like 4 episodes of plot in all of Ghost Game, which to me just ugh. Etamon, yeah, Etamon, that's his name. For the monkey dude. King Oger is something like an adventure to me. Yeah, it does makes me think of an anime the way King Oger is done, which really helps it. So Etamon is inspired by Elvis. Octopus. Gavin is okay. I'll take Gavin over Gal Ranger. Oh, Go Ranger. I thought you said Gal Ranger for. Wait, it was Gal Ranger, wasn't it? Let's see. Is Die Ranger Kaiju's favorite thing in the whole entire world? Not my entire thing in the whole entire world, but it is my favorite Toku series overall. I'll take Kabuto over Deno. What is your opinion on the museum organization from Double? I love that family. I I was a nice and refreshing to have an actual villain group back in Kamen Rider when it happened. That was a regular, like, traditional organization. So I love that. Where's the cat? I think he just went out on the balcony. Thoughts on Cosmic Fury? I didn't watch it because I haven't watched Dino Fury yet. And I don't see the point in watching Dino Fury Season 3 when I haven't seen the first two seasons. Which collection, JG? Thoughts on Super Guts? They weren't very super. Don't worry about misspellings. I mean, it's a chat. It's not like you're gonna get graded on this. Is everything in Gotchard boring? Um, I don't know. I just found the plot and the characters to be uninteresting. Really, the only thing that I was curious about for the first episode was the three fates. I want to know why the three fates are chasing after these CGI cards. Paw Patrol's the movie, Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers have. I got the power song. Have you got the old Jur Caliber? Nah. Don't have money or room for Henshin stuff right now. Yes, Russian, I did see that there were a couple of anime figures. I think it was Optimus and Bumblebee. That was cool. That was cool to see. If I were to get back into Transformers, though, it would be to buy the brand new Beast Wars Season 1 figures they've been doing. Because those have been pretty cool, especially the ones that are show accurate in colors. In Drive, riders defeat 108 Roid Mutes, but in Gotchard, do get 101 collect defeat. Sorry, did I? I'm not sure what you're asking exactly. Yeah, there were 108 Roid Mutes, which was weird to cover because they got most of them. The Chemi cards, I'm not sure how I feel about them. Anthony Sarkis, what's up, Kaiju? Sorry, I'm late. Not that late. Ever been a Total Drama fan? Someone else asked me that recently. I liked the first season, and when I saw the second, it's not something I went out of my way to watch, but when it was on, I was entertained enough to watch it. It was a fun time. I liked that it made fun of reality TV shows. Hey, I actually got an idea for a fan-made Toku series, which is Middle Heroes, called Jijutsu Tokuso Justilla, which stands for Technology Special Investigator Justillar. Interesting. Interesting notion. It give it a noir vibe, and it would be pretty interesting. I don't know why it was 67 episodes. It was probably due to a few hiatus. The first was due to the pandemic. So did they just do a bunch of clip shows then? Or something? Last week I got my Blu-ray of Lon Chaney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. I have not received my copy of that yet. Amazon tells me it's going to arrive on the 13th. But yeah, I pre-ordered Golem, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Phantom of the Opera at the same time, and the 1939 version of Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I got all of them, but the Lon Chaney Hunchback. Don't know why it's taking forever for that one to arrive. But we just watched. So, like I said, we just finished the audiobook for Dracula. So now we had watched Nosferatu, the Lugosi Dracula movie, The Horror of Dracula, and Count Dracula with Christopher Lee. And then we have which I had never seen Count Dracula before. And then we're gonna watch, which I've never seen before, is the Frank Langella version of Dracula. And we're gonna end off the Dracula adaptations with Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Coppola movie, which is my favorite adaptation so far. I will say Nosferatu was interesting, but the ending sucked. The 31 Dracula movie, it's weird because it deviates a lot from the book, but but Lugosi and and Sloan do such a great job with their role, and the movie has so much atmosphere going for it that it makes it hard to hate it. There's a lot going for it despite it deviating from the book. On the other hand, I don't get the love for horror of Dracula. I mean, they strip Dracula down of his powers. It doesn't even feel like they're trying to follow the book. Characters make no sense for the relationships at times because Mina is married to Arthur and Jonathan is a vampire hunter. And really, I'd say Peter Cushing is the best thing about that movie and that final chase sequence at the end. Otherwise, I don't get the love for horror of Dracula. Christopher Lee could have been good if they actually did something with him. And then Count Dracula, which was advertised as, oh, it's the most accurate adaptation of all ever made. And no, not really. Yes, it does have some scenes from the book that have never been adapted into movie form, such as a scene when Dracula wards wolves away as they're going to his as he's escorting Jonathan to his castle, and a scene of a woman wanting Dracula to return the baby she stole, even though it comes kind of out of order because we should see the baby first, then have the lady wailing about her baby later. Um, but the movie had some really bad pacing issues, and the set design and lighting were terrible. Like Dracula's castle is so empty. Like it had nothing really in there. It was like a brick wall with tables and chairs, and that's it. No paintings on the wall, no tapestries, nothing. It looked like what like we would do for dioramas, that, oh, this is all we have to do a photograph for a diorama, but this was an actual movie. And again, some of the changes didn't make sense. Wasn't a fan of Van Helsing in the movie. The soundtrack was cool. I liked how Christopher Lee actually got to portray Dracula properly because he actually turned into a bat, even though we never saw him turn into a wolf. But we got to see Dracula actually be Dracula. So it had some good things for it. The other problem though with both Horror of Dracula and Count Dracula is they didn't actually show the Demeter scene. Dracula is just in London because boom, he's in London. There's no ship sequence. And so we'll see how this Frank Langella Dracula adaptation goes. But I'm looking forward to ending the adaptations with the Coppola movie. Anyway, okay. I watched Yokai Monsters, Spook Warfare, and Toho's Lake of Dracula. Nice. I haven't seen the Vampire trilogy. Dinah or Nexus? Nexus, easily. Least favorite Sentai. Oops. There we go. Least favorite Sentai organization. The villains from Zenkaiger. Like the villains from Ryu Soldier were bad, but the villains from Zenkaiger took the cake in incompetence and boring. I will get to the Zerth movies at some point. I'm hoping I can tackle Niels for Thanksgiving and get Zerth done in early December, depending on how long it takes me to get through the next Sentai review. But I am going to get Zerth done sooner rather than later, and Niels. I have done a lot of Garo, Zeo King. I've done the first 2 seasons of Garo and a few movies and stuff. I'm not tackling anything more of Garo until it gets licensed because I'm just so busy with other stuff. Oh, why did you sell your Destroy All Monsters Blu-ray? Because I got the Criterion one, and somebody was willing to buy the Blu-ray for because the Media Blasters Blu-ray I had the bonus features on there, so somebody was willing to pay like 100 something for it. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll sell it. I don't need the Media Blasters Blu-ray. Star Wars fan, probably not, but most characters had their own adventures and filler episodes. I forgot. Chris, I forgot to say the villains of my fan-made Metal Hero series. The villains is going to be like Ghost Ager, had 3 groups of just still our villains in the show. Ghost Game was the same thing every time. It was like I was watching the show Supernatural again, and that show had 327 episodes doing the same thing. Wow. I mean, I could understand if Ghost Game was like made in the 70s or 80s, but considering all the other Digimon series were still story driven, there is no excuse for Ghost Game to not be story driven. Anthony Serkis, I would directly recommend checking the 1979 remake of Nosferatu. I might at some point. It might not be until after the Roger Eggers version comes out next year. Johnny Nagu. Nyogo. How's it going, Kaiju no Kami? It is going good. Did you know that it's the 10th anniversary of Kamen Rider Gaim? Oh yeah, it is. Nice. Tiger Hawk and Silver Border Gang Legacy figures and Megatron Transmetal 2 got one. Oh, I only saw Tiger Hawk. I didn't see Silverbolt and Megatron. That's really cool. I want to see what the Megatron one looks like. CSM is going to make the Genius Driver and the Energy Lock seats. Cool. The villains of Justilar are called first one, the interdimensional crime group Black Hole. Second one is Dark Cross Army. Third one is called Shadow. Shadow sounds very ominous. There's going to be, yeah, that I'm looking forward to for Nosferatu. V Scorpio. I don't understand how it crosses over with Kyoto when King Oger's not even in a universe that could work as a Sentai universe. Unless they go dimension hopping, but I don't know. We haven't watched the last 2 episodes of King Oger, so I don't know. Maybe they do go dimension hopping in King Oger in those few episodes. Ultraman Blazers getting more interesting. That's good to hear, Black Sun. Chris, in November, are we going to have a live stream in November? I don't know yet. It depends how busy things get. However, given that there is a week off from school because of Thanksgiving break, it's possible I might do it around then if I'm going to do one. I need to keep remembering to look up there for the camera. Zenkaiger felt like a mess. Man, Zenkaiger was a huge mess. Which Japanese female ghost are you afraid of most? Tiki Tiki and the Split Mouth Woman, or none really. I mean, I don't really truly believe in ghosts, so I can't really get scared of them. I love the stories though. I love the mythology they bring in, but I don't believe they are real. Thoughts on Harriet the Spy? Never watched it. Favorite 80s vampire movie other than Lost Boys? I actually don't even like the Lost Boys. I've only watched Lost Boys once, and I found it to be all right. But a vampire movie from the 80s. Have I seen any other vampire movies from the 80s? I mean, I guess Monster Squad is kind of a vampire movie, but I can't say I'm like, oh my god, Monster Squad. Um, most of the vampire movies I like are from the 90s and before the 80s. Hmm. I don't know. I can't think of any vampire movies from the 80s. Like I said, most of the vampire stuff I've seen is before the 80s and then 90s and above. Am I missing something? Vampire movie. Yeah. I can't think of anything from the 80s I've seen outside of Lost Boys, and I didn't think Lost Boys was all that special. Huh. Hmm. You think Boomger will be the first female Red Ranger team? I doubt it. I doubt we will ever see a female Red Ranger as the leader of the entire show in Japan. Ever think of reviewing the rest of the Elm Street movies one day? No. Not at all, Johnny. Um, Warner Brothers has really ruined my desire to review any of their properties on YouTube. I am just tired of their copyright claim bullshit that I have no desire to tackle any more Elm Street movies. I They're one of the reasons I ended up changing my movie review format, and I just don't want to go through the hassle of doing any more Elm Street movies, any Warner Brothers movies if I can help it. That's kind of now why I'm glad the Godzilla movies are no longer going to be. Wait, no, are they done by Warner Brothers? The next Godzilla one? Shit. I don't even know if I'm going to review that because I don't want to tackle Warner Brothers. I don't want to deal with their bullshit for reviews. I mean, I can barely post something that's 7 seconds long if it's a Warner Brothers property without getting a copyright claim, at least for their movies. So, yeah. Star Wars fan. Also been watching Kamen Rider Gito. Watched 24 episodes so far. Nice. Agito is so amazing. More people need to watch Agito. Chris, hey, Zenkaiger is not bad. It's just some people love it, some people hate it. I personally love Zenkaiger. It's my most favorite Sentai ever. But you know what? Zenkaiger is on my top 50 Toku shows ever. Nothing wrong with that. I just was not a fan of Zenkaiger one bit. Do you have plans to check out any more Hammer films? At some point. I mean, still have a few movies in the Hammer box set to watch from Mill Creek. Well, I say a few movies, but I have a lot of movies because I've only watched a few out of that set. But at some point, I will get more Hammer movies watched. I love their Mummy. That's why I imported the Blu-ray set for the Mummy because it came with all kinds of goodies from the UK. I would love to get. I will, if they ever release Curse of Frankenstein on 4K, I will buy that. I will probably import a 4K version since the 4K version since they would probably release a deluxe set in the UK that came with goodies like what we got with Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Dawn of the Dead and okay, weird noises coming from outside. Um, but yeah, at some point I'll watch more Hammer stuff when I get to it. I've seen a lot of the Dracula movies. Um, that because I used to own a DVD 4 pack. Warner Brothers released of 4 Dracula movies. It was Horror of Dracula, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, which was meh. Dracula 1972 AD, which was the best of the 3 sequels. And there was one more. I didn't think they were all that great, though. Favorite Godzilla movie of all time? Mothra versus Godzilla, no contest. Well, there is a contest with the original, but Mothra versus Godzilla. How to fix Jeed and Rube? Jeed is fine. I mean, it's not stellar, but it's fine. I was just sick of how many times Baleo came back. For Rube, they should have never got rid of what's his name? Eisen. They should have never got rid of Eisen. So I'd fix Rube by not getting rid of Eisen. And replacing him with that boring, generic goth girl. Let's see. How old are you? 42 or 42? 41? I'll be 42 in June. But 41? Which is funny because some people on Twitter think I'm 52. So I'm like, oh, I heard he was in his late 60s. Have you seen Giant Savior? No, I have not. Somebody had asked me about Giant Savior a while ago. I have not. And Dianoman. Oh, the Dynaman dub. Only the first episode. That was enough. Thoughts on Inuyasha? I've never been an Inuyasha fan. It's got some cool ideas, but it's just not something I really hold an interest in. If it was like a much shorter series, I probably would have been more inclined to give it a shot. But I never really got into Inuyasha. I watched like the first 30, 40 episodes. Just not my thing. Do you think Nev Campbell should return to Scream 7? No, actually, I don't. I think Scream 6 was much better because Nev Campbell was not in it, and I'd like to see the franchise just move past her. She's done her job, she's done her roles. There's not anything else they can do with Nev Campbell that hasn't already been done before. Let's move the franchise in another direction at this point. Did you watch the death battle with Bill Cipher in Discord? No, I did not. Didn't even know that was a thing. Fright Night, have not seen that one. Opinions on Dash, Dash, O Ranger, Dash, Dash, O Ranger. Oh, not that Dash? Dash was Max, right? They all blend together. Yeah, because Crew Guys was Mabius. Dash was Max. They were there. I can't say I was thrilled with Dash, but they didn't do anything. Oh, actually, they did pull attack at times and say, "Oh, they're just seeing things." But Dash was just they were okay. Nothing terrible, but nothing great. Just kind of forgettable, as clearly I've forgotten them already. Thoughts on the new Barbie movie? Have not seen it yet. I did see A Haunting in Venice, which is amazing. If you have not seen A Haunting in Venice, check it out. Even if you haven't seen Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile, it doesn't matter. You can see this one and not have to worry about seeing the previous two, because even though they're set in the same universe, they're not directly tied with each other. It was pretty nice. And I would love to see more movies of Perot with Brana in them. Let's see. What's your dream Ultra series if Subaraya is opening a fan poll characters? Um, I don't know if I really have a dream Ultra series because everything has pretty much been done with Ultraman that I could think of. Everything that I would come up with, they have already done. I guess a series that features an entirely new cast of monsters, 100% brand new, not a couple older ones, but 100% brand new. Have you seen Cosmic Fury? I have not. V Scorpio. I haven't watched Dino Fury yet. I probably won't watch Dino Fury until I rewatch Ryu Soldier. But I also need to watch Dino Charge now that I've watched Kyoryuger. I need to watch Beast Morphers now that I've watched Go Busters. And at some point, I probably should watch Ninja Steel since I reviewed Ninja a long time ago. But I also been wanting to rewatch Ninja Storm through Operation Overdrive. Something I just haven't had a chance to do since I finished the Sentai versions of those series for reviews. But at some point, I probably would like to watch SPD and review it. Favorite member of the Greeds from O's? Ura. Ura was my favorite Greed, which is why I was so pissed the show kicked him sidelined him from being the main villain for the freaking annoying puppet dude. Oof, that was so annoying. Legacy Beast Wars Silverbolt was leaked. Oh, okay, that's why I haven't seen a picture, because there is no picture. Dumbest Power Rangers episode. The Turkey Jerk Monster episode. I hate the Turkey Jerk Monster episode. I hate the Turkey Jerk. I hate the concept of the episode. I just hate that episode. What do you think the 2024 Sentai will be about? It sounds like it's going to be about music, which, if that's the case, I'm really cool with that, especially if it has like a Hibiki thing going on. Obviously, it won't be Hibiki because that would mean they'd have to change the writers halfway through and completely ruin the whole show. But it would be really cool. Nipcrom 002. Whoa, it just said an ad is playing. Okay. I'll wait for the ad to go. No idea if the ad is still going. Okay, anyway. Nipcrom 002, welcome. 002. Is Bioman the most popular Toku in France? I have no idea because I don't live there. I heard it's very popular though. I know some people have responded on my Bioman review way back then about its popularity in France. I don't know though if it was the most popular or not, but it is popular. What I miss? Napcom, you missed, well, me rambling on and on about stuff, talking about Dracula and silent film movies. Silent film movies, that's like the same thing. That's like saying Sahara Desert. You're saying desert. Silent movie. Oh, bleh. But I talked about silent films and Dracula and upcoming review ideas and Digimon. I'm currently reading. I didn't talk about this yet, but I am currently reading the original Secret Wars for Marvel because I got to where I'm at in the Claremont X-Men run. My last issue of X-Men, the X-Men got spirited away to the Secret Wars. So I figured now would be the best time to read Secret Wars. So I've read the first 2.5 issues. I'm halfway through issue 3. Um, I can honestly say Secret Wars, I can totally understand back then the whole, oh my god, we have all these Marvel heroes gathered in one place, team up crossover series. But I can tell you right now, I am bored with Secret Wars. It's just boring. There's nothing exciting about it at all. It's just, it feels like the whole selling point is all these heroes and villains in one place crossing over with each other. And because I've grown, I guess when I grew up on comics, that was a typical thing. It isn't special to me, so I don't feel the specialness with Secret Wars. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, can we get to something actually happening? And there's been a lot of weird stuff, like in the first issue, the villains, Doctor Doom returns from Galactus being knocked out, and all the villains are like, Doctor Doom, you need to lead us. But then he gives an order, and they all jump him. So he beats them up and leaves. And then he crashes, and the heroes, he says he needs their help or something, and they go to help him up. But because they were trying to help him up, he then turns on them for trying to help him. What? And then issue 2, Magneto shows up, captures Wasp, and leaves. Thing gets turned back into a regular human. And in issue 3, now Magneto and Wasp are like kissing each other, or Magneto forced Wasp to kiss him, and yeah, I'm not feeling Secret Wars. I mean, it's cool that I'm finally reading it. That I'm gonna get to finally see the storyline soon that brought in the symbiote suit for Peter. But I can honestly say right now, there is nothing special about Secret Wars. It's just, eh. It was probably one of those things that was cool way back when, which is weird because I was expecting that with Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I ended up loving Crisis on Infinite Earths. Oh wow, there's a lot of more questions. Okay, where did I miss? Where did I miss? Where did I miss? Ah, do you think Next Mutations deserves to be treated with attention and respect? No. Did you watch Kamen Rider Outsiders? No. Eisen. Hello, bro, from Kamen Rider 64. Hello. Ever read the Eyewitness books? No. Overrated Godzilla movie that still blindly loves, but outdated now? Overrated Godzilla movie that still blindly loves. Destroya. Ever played DC Universe Online? Nope. I am not an online gamer. Very rarely do I play a video game online, and it has to be a specific series with that I truly, truly care about to play online. Like I loved Resident Evil Outbreak 1 and 2 back on the PS2, and I did have fun with Perfect Dark Zero on the Xbox 360. But other than that, I don't care about playing online. I play video games typically to get away from people, not interact with people. So I prefer to play single player games and enjoy a good story. Next battle, Megatron versus Frieza. That's a weird fight. Okay. The Bill versus Discord one was interesting. What's the worst Sentai you have watched? Probably Ryu Soldier or Go Onger, but probably Ryu Soldier. Crown, I almost caught up with King Oger, and it's been great so far. The Rangers are good, and the new villains have been interesting. Looking to see more of it. King Oger has been excellent. That and Don Brothers. I am so impressed with Toei, with Don Brothers and King Oger. Like, we got two amazing Sentai shows in a row. I mean, granted, King Oger still has time to fumble the ball, but we have gotten two amazing Sentai shows in a row. The last time we had that was, well, I guess Go Kaiger and Go Busters ish. And I mean, that was the last time we had consistently good Sentais in a row. Go Kaiger, Go Busters, and Kyoruger. And Tokuger wasn't bad. I enjoyed Tokuger. But if I'm going to go with the same level of Don Brothers and King Oger, the last time we had amazing Sentais like that was Go Go 5 and Time Ranger. Where did I go? Oh yeah, thoughts on North 1994. North 1994. North 1994. North 1994. Not sure I'm familiar with North 1994. Agito is a fantastic show. Hands down, it's probably one of my favorite Heisei Rider shows of all time. Truly, Agito is definitely one of the best. I hear people say that Boon Boon Derby about vehicles and do want Reiwa version of Dynaman. Dynaman. Explosions galore. Do you think Ultraman's a sex offender when he fights other monsters? Not really, but it is fun to make jokes about. What is the worst Super Sentai you just watched? Wait, yeah, James, I already answered that. Don't confuse me. Don't confuse me. Actually, Kaiju is hands down my first ever Toku I've ever watched and is still my favorite. Nice. That's awesome. Wizard of Forze. Forze. Thoughts on Power Rangers reboot? I think it's about time that Power Rangers does its own thing instead of doing Sentai footage. I mean, it made sense before when we never had access to Sentai, but now that we have access to Sentai, I don't really think Power Rangers needs to continue following the Sentai footage because they should do their own thing. The franchise has its own weight now that they could have been doing their own thing for the last decade. Even after RPM, they could have went and did their own thing with Power Rangers instead of using the Sentai footage. So I think it's about time. I want to see where this goes. I mean, yeah, the continuity is lost, but that's what you have the previous universe for. You know what? This Sentai one, okay, it's in it. Obviously, reboot. It's in its own universe. It can at times cross over with the current universe. Can cross over with RPM. That's in another universe. Crossover with the comic book series. That's another universe. Doesn't mean everything is gone. James, stop asking me about the worst Sentai. I just answered it. Okay. Do you think the 60s, 70s Godzilla designs will look better with ears or not? I don't know. I don't think it would matter. I mean, the 64 design is my favorite Godzilla design. So I don't think the ears really would make a difference. I think it's pretty cool to have he has ears, but I liked that they went with a different design. I don't think it would have changed anything. Thoughts on Yodomhai? Yodomhai was an interesting group. They weren't perfect, but it was nice to finally see a villain organization get development again after so many years. I am not answering your question again, James. I already did that. Actually, yes, I will. Ryu Soldier. Ryu Soldier is the worst. Why insert song from Kamen Rider and Super Sentai? What do you like? Which insert song? Well, there's that one from Black. Um, I don't know the name of most of the insert songs, but there's that one from Black after the Gorgon priests have been given their upgrade forms and they're attacking the city. Um, for Sentai, I love Protect the Earth. Is it with Asuka's theme from Ava Ranger? And then um what's the one from Protect the Earth from Ava Ranger? I don't remember the other one now. But yeah, we'll go Protect the Earth from Ava Ranger is one of my favorites, and then the one from Black. I don't really know the names of the insert songs because they don't tell you, and they're hard to find online. You just see a list of insert songs, and you're like, that one. Nope, that's not it. That one. Nope, that's not it. Play that one. Oh, yep, that's it. What is the most enjoyable Toku you've ever watched? Die Ranger. Die Ranger is the most enjoyable Toku. It has some flaws, but it is for me the most perfect Toku ever. Because remember, the only perfection is imperfection. So just because something is the perfect experience for you does not mean it was perfectly made. It's like Resident Evil 2, the remake. For me, that is the most perfect Resident Evil experience ever. But it doesn't mean it is a perfect game. Let's see. What is the worst Super Sentai you've watched and why? Go Anja. What is the worst Super Sentai you've watched and why? Ryu Soja. Hey Kaiju, are you interested in Ultraman series, Ultraman Kaiju, to not have a defense team? I would be. We've had a couple. I don't think Ultraman must have a defense team, as we've seen series do it without, which is an interesting spin. Um, I also love the way they pulled off Nexus, where the defense team were the main characters, at least initially, and Ultraman was kind of a secondary character. Do you think the turtle designs in Mutant Mayhem look more like preteens than teenagers? I just think the designs in Mutant Mayhem look terrifying to begin with. I don't know if they look like preteens or teenagers. They just look horrifying. Cherry Fluff Belly official. Sorry I'm late. Wait, but you were here earlier, so how are you late? What? What? What if I wasn't for the fact I'd lose my place? I should scroll all the way back up and be like, but you, whatever. Um, what is the worst Super Sentai you have watched and why? I said Ryu Soja last time, right? So go Anja. Favorite Sentai monster designs? Ooh, well, I love the Emperor Radus from Flashman. He might be my favorite design overall for Sentai villains. I love how imposing he looks. I love the like mask that he has for a face. Um but I also love the Simaclans monsters, the Gorma monsters. I really love the concept of the Gorma monsters having one eye. Like Lip Syncer is pretty damn awesome. One of my favorite, probably my favorite monster design from Die Ranger. Dora Sphinx is a favorite design from Jude Ranger. Jude Ranger had a lot of great designs too. I mean, there's a reason why. I don't really think that they're just iconic because they're in Power Rangers, but it's their designs that help them become iconic, not just the shows they were in. Um, but yeah, Go Go 5 had a lot of amazing looking villain designs. Junior from Kaku Ranger, I mean, freaking, he's a skeleton that's half white, half army colors. How cool is that? And I love how many skulls he has. Everything is just a skull on a skull on a skull on a skull on a skull. It's like patches in comic books in the 90s. You've got a patch for your patch that has a patch on the patch. Is Ultraman Max a very underrated show? Because I didn't mind Max since I watched it in 2011, but since you got Max a Blu-ray, but now Max got a release. I didn't think Max was anything special. I'm sure maybe back in 2007 when it was the first show to bring old monsters back, it was special. Or not 2007, 2005. I'm sure back then, it's like Secret Wars was to Marvel. Back then, when if you experienced it for the first time, when you'd already experienced everything else, it must have been probably a really great show. But given that Max was the last show I reviewed, after having reviewed everything else up through Rube, aside from Max, then I was like, this show ain't that good. This show is just safe. It plays it safe. Best era for Toku. I don't know if I can say there is a definitive best era because each Toku era has its own greatness. Ultraman has the 60s. Kamen Rider has the 2000s. Sentai has the 90s. Metal Heroes really did dominate the 80s, I feel. Garo dominated the 2010s. I don't think there is an exact best era for Toku because each franchise had its strengths in different eras. Now, if you want overall, I would say the Heisei was the strongest era for between Showa, Heisei, and what we have right now for Reiwa. The Heisei era was the strongest. However, it was also the longest. So we have the most shows, and it's also the Heisei era is when we started to really focus on story-driven plots and series rather than just a hero of the week story where the villains attack, hero saves them, end of day. Next week, villains attack, hero saves them, end of day. It's like when you compare DC and Marvel. Silver Age DC was about the plot, about the hero being there to take out the villain. Silver Age Marvel was about the heroes having characters and family lives and being people, and that was just as important as 50% of it was their character development, 50% was superheroing. DC was 100% superheroing. It doesn't make one better than the other, but it's different, and they all both have their own strengths and weaknesses. Advantage for like DC or Showa era Toku, you could turn on any episode and you could just enjoy that one episode and not come back for like a few years and go watch another episode and be fine. When you get to more story-driven stuff, you read an issue, watch an episode, but you might have missed plots from the previous episodes, and you might miss some payoff from that episode that will be done in later episodes. So I can't say there is one definitive best era, but my favorite of the three eras thus far would be Heisei. But for decades, it just depends on the series, the franchise. Hostel 2005. I hated Hostel. I hate it. I thought it was a terrible, piss poorly done torture porn film. And it's probably the reason why I do not like Eli Roth's style of horror. Thoughts on rice balls being called donuts in the English dub of Pokemon? It's stupid. You know what? I understand there's cultural differences, but you should if you're going to add in your own dialogue, then why not use that to teach your audience about those differences? I mean, the Pokemon added in dialogue all the time, so why not just add in, oh, this is a rice ball. What exactly is a rice ball? Oh, it's blah, blah, blah. But there were a lot more worse atrocities done in anime shows than just changing food. How do you think things would go if Marvel's Anime Disc Wars crossover with My Hero Academia? Don't know because I never watched either. I actually, I mean, I know bits of My Hero Academia, but I know absolutely nothing about Disc Wars. I actually forgot that was even a thing. I think I only know from a title, and that was it. I suggest you with Kelly and your pals to make Toku time bingo cards in preparation for the discotheque live stream this fall. Not worth it. We don't even know if they'll announce anything for Toku, which I'm kind of disappointed in. They made it sound like they were going to have this big Toku announcement at Otakon, and then it turned out to be nothing. Have you ever heard of Deno Kitsatsu Cyber Cop? Oh, yes, I have heard of it. I've never watched it though, but I have heard of it. Any Power Ranger series you think is better than Sentai? RPM is definitely better than Go Onger. Um, and maybe SPD over Deca Ranger, but both have strengths and weaknesses. I mean, SPD does not have the perfect blue episode. So, but SPD has a more concise plot. I like more of what they did with Doggy, and I liked how Jack or Sky grew and became the Red Ranger at the end. I think that's what should have happened with uh, Hojo. Hoji. Oh shit. He should have become Deca Red at the end. Q Ranger or Lupin? Lupin versus Pot. I'll take Lupin versus Pot, even though it's not great. You should make a tier. Uh oh, I lost it. You should make a tier. Where'd it go? You should make a tier of Super Sentai. I don't know if I have the patience for that. Thoughts on the Badan Empire? Badan Empire. I'm drawing a blank. Badan. I am drawing a blank right now. Thoughts on the original Seed? How do you feel as a show on its own? It's a divisive show among older fans. Hey, Supreme Omega, welcome. Gundam Seed, I think, is a good gateway Gundam series. It's not great, but it is a really good gateway show. It hits all the right strides while having updated animation. It's kind of like a remake of the original Gundam series, but with new animation and awesome music. So I think it's a good show to introduce people to. Favorite Lion King character? Scar. Simba and Mufasa are not even my favorites. Scar is my favorite. Favorite board game? Hero Quest. Hero Quest is the greatest game ever made. Ever tried the Pink Panther wafers? No. North 1994 is in Elijah. Oh, that movie. Oh, okay. You confused me with putting the date on there. I thought it was called North 1994, not just North. Um, yes, that was a movie. That was a movie. Yes, the one with the very neglectful parents. When he started to choke, they were too busy talking to each other to even notice. Yes, that's definitely a movie on child abuse. Yes, that was a thing. No, don't want to ever see it again. Worst movie in Child's Play series. Ooh, there's too many to. I guess I'm going to say Seed of Chucky, but it could be Cult of Chucky. Seed of Chucky or Cult of Chucky. Don't know, but one of those. Favorite Sentai episode ever? Ooh. Okay. If there's one Sentai episode I always go to when I'm in the mood to watch a Sentai episode of any sort. It's always the Die Ranger episode, the Oni with the golden kick. I don't know why. I love that episode. It has great music, which I think is part of the selling point for it. It's a really cool ass monster, and it's just a fun episode. That is like the go-to. Like if I'm in the mood for like I just want to watch a random Sentai episode from any series, that's typically the episode I go to. God, I need to watch Die Ranger again. It's been too long. I haven't had the chance to watch Die Ranger in like 3 years. And with my Shotos and now the S&Ps, I really need to get back to rewatching Die Ranger. Also on Seed, how do you feel about the upcoming Seed Freedom film? Are you excited? Are you not excited? I'm actually not familiar with this Seed Freedom film. Is it like a sequel series or well, I guess you say film, so movie. Is it like a sequel to Destiny or does it just set in the Seed universe? You think if Gotchard and Geets get movie should be bring back? I don't think. I know they're gonna bring back more Kamen Riders, but I would rather they didn't. Welcome to the Dollhouse. Never seen it. Favorite member from Zangyak? Stacy is the only. Oh, Zangyak. Wow, I'm clearly not reading things properly. My favorite member of the Zangyak Empire. Can't be Bosco because Bosco technically wasn't part of the Empire. It would be big dude. Damaras? Was that what his name was now? Damaras? Or am I thinking of Sid? Damaras. I think it's Damaras. Favorite monster from Geki Ranger? Of course it's going to be Leo in Melee. But if you mean monster, regular monster. Probably be one of the 5 deadly venoms. Do you feel bad for Durako when he gets double teamed by Gigas and Red King in that common episode of Ultraman? No, because it's a great origin story for Gigan. I mean, I guess I've never thought about the feelings of a monster. Thoughts on Niels? I've only gotten through 2 episodes. I will say I am not impressed with those 2 episodes. What are the most disappointing Kamen Rider shows you've watched? Decade, Skyrider, Super One, Wizard, and Ixaid. Although, I mean, if you want to get down to it, I am disappointed with the direction they took Hibiki in the second half. So maybe Hibiki. What is your opinion on the Melzar tribe from Beef Fighter Kabuto? I love the Melzar tribe. They are the reason I watched Kabuto right from the start because I loved Nukas and his crew in Beetleborgs Metallics. So that's what drew me to Kabuto, and I loved them. Raijal was badass. Worst Sentai ending episodes. Changeman. Changeman had an awful episode finale. Jacka had a terrible finale. Um, Zenkaiger. Zenkaiger's ending was like, okay. Um, let's go with those. Ferricine and Pumpkinhead. Ooh. Probably the birth of Pumpkinhead. It's a really cool scene. Would you want Japan to make a horror kaiju film about Gasha Dokuro? That would be pretty freaking cool. I would like that a lot. I got a new phone. I'm loving it. Awesome. I didn't even think for the design for Gestular. Oh, at all. Wow, I'm dumb. Hey, it happens. You'll consider it. You'll get it. You'll come up with something. Nostalgia critic or angry video game nerd? 10 years ago, I would have said nostalgia critic. These days, I'd say angry video game nerd because he doesn't seem like he's an asshole. Supreme Omega, talking about eras. Do you feel the 70s is a weak era for Toku because the economic problems of the 70s led to budget cuts and cheapening of special effects? I don't know. I mean, I guess all things considered, the 70s probably would be the weakest of the decades because, but I don't even know if I'd agree there. I mean, I guess yes, but I don't know if I'd say it's necessarily weak. It's just weaker than the other decades. But I mean, it did have some really cool Common Rider stuff going on. It gave us Super Gold Ranger. So I'm not sure I would say, and then Return of Ultraman. So I don't think you'd say it's a weak era. It's just probably the weakest of the eras of the decades. Thoughts on the FCC song from Family Guy? I am not familiar with the FCC song. Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. 80s for Metal Heroes and 80s for Sentai, 2000 for Rider, totally agree. Disney animated shows had a story-driven era in the early to mid 2010s to the 2020s, unless it's still going. Well, they did it too in the 90s with Gargoyles. I wish the next Kamen Rider series to have an evil organization. I finally want an organization. Yeah, it'd be cool. They really don't think people know what a rice ball is. Agreed. If you think that's bad for kids, One Piece was bad. Yeah, I missed out on the 4 Kids era of One Piece. Snakes or cobras? Neither. But cobras are cooler. Never seen Killer Crowns from Outer Space. It is okay. Not terrible, but not amazing. Ever watched Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills? Nope. Sentai was dark in the 90s and 80s. Toku Punk, what's up? What's up? Why are you just like throwing clothes around?
I have to take those to a different room, the clothes over there. So it's not throwing it around, it's setting it down.
Okay. Thoughts on Daigo Sun coming in King Oger? Won't know right now till we get there. What do you think of the Heisei era of Sentai? Great. Do you feel the failure of Seed Destiny has retroactively tainted the perception of the original Seed?
Yes.
A bit. A bit indeed. Have you heard of Akumizer 3? I have, but I have not seen it. RPM or SPD? SPD, Infinity War or Endgame? Infinity War. Ever eaten Luther burgers? Don't even know what the hell Luther burger is.
Seriously, you don't?
No. Why?
They're good.
Okay, what are they?
Remember, they're based on a show. Shit.
They're based on a show shit?
No,
Do you mean shit show?
I have to think about it. I swear it had a loser burger.
Are you going to check out Cosmic Fury when I eventually watch Dino Fury? Have you seen Gamma Rebirth? I have not yet. I am in no rush to watch that terrible looking animation. Why is Ryu Soldier hated so much? Because Ryu Soldiers. Ryu Soldier is a perfect example of a show that just tells you what's going on, doesn't show you it. Characters just get from point A to point B, probably because the scripts told them to go there, not because it makes sense. And the villains, just the monsters of the week, have no personalities. They're just there. And the villains don't really get developed all that much. They're just kind of there. The Ranger cast. The Ranger cast was like great actors for it, but they didn't do much of anything to make them stand out. The fights were meh, and the main girl, like the sidekick girl, the human girl, who they didn't know how to write her. Yeah, obviously we know why she left the show towards the end because she was sick, but they didn't do anything with her when she was on the show.
Okay, I didn't eat a Luther burger. I thought it was something else. I know what it is, though.
What the hell? Ew. That looks gross.
Yeah, it was in the Boondocks.
Oh, the Boondocks.
Yes.
Was that the itis episode?
Wow. Oh my god. Yes.
Okay. Ew. Oh, God. Oh, that's the one that David talked about.
Yes,
Oh.
that's in my cookbook.
No, ew,
That
no.
he wanted me to make that I refused to make.
No, gross. Nope. I have never watched Drawn Together, so I can't tell you.
Oh, Drawn Together is great. I like Betty Boop, even though it's not Betty Boop.
Is the 2010s Brother Week era for Mecha? Yes, it is.
Isn't that when Code Geass came out?
Well, one, we're talking about Sentai Mech.
Oh,
Two, Code Geass was 2006.
oh, then never mind. I'm just gonna go back to my horror movie.
Yeah, I thought you weren't talking because your mouth was still hurting.
It actually does hurt, so.
Then go. Hibiki is like the black sheep of Rider. It is. Oops. Box Knight. Welcome. Thank you. Worst Lucio Fulci movie. I don't know if I've seen his movies. He doesn't sound familiar. Thoughts on the Beef-Fighter villains? I can't say because I've never watched the first Beef-Fighter series. I do know, though, that in Beetleborgs, I hated their designs. I thought they were dreadful looking designs. Do you think Sabozu, the skeleton monster from the original Ultraman series, should make a comeback? I think I'm surprised they have never brought him back. But then again, there's other monsters. I'm like, why don't you use those monsters? The Badu they have done nothing with the Badu in most Ultraman series. Like, yes, they were there, but they weren't there. They haven't done anything interesting with the Badu. They haven't brought Goron back, as far as I know. They never brought the frickin' dinosaur tank back. Actually, I want to relate back to that question about what I would do for an Ultraman series. If I created an Ultraman series, the main villain would be a race of dinosaur tanks. Yes, dinosaur tanks would be the main villains. Every episode would feature a new dinosaur tank. They'd be all decked out and cool and have different combinations and varieties. a dinosaur tank Ultra Series. There you go. That's what I would do. I have spoken. This is the way. Anyway, do damn it. Do you think Johnny Bravo's sex offender? Do you think Johnny Bravo was a sex offender? Johnny Bravo was a sex offender even back in the 90s. It's not just today's standards. It's just today we're no longer allowing sex offenders to get away with it. So, but Johnny Bravo was always a sex offender. Will you ever review Ultraman Z? If they ever bring it out to Blu-ray in America, I will. Thoughts on Angry Video Game Nerds Godzilla-thon videos he made back in 2008? I don't remember them. I know I watched them a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, where my Evo is law. Until this foolish samurai warrior. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. What do you hate about Disney nowadays? The poor decision making they've been doing in the last year. I don't know what. I don't really hate Disney like others do, but they have been making very poor decisions over the last year, year and a half, and I don't understand why. But I do hate whoever approved Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion was piece of shit. Dark Matter or Gangler? Um, Dark Matter, because at least they had an ending to their story. The Ganglers didn't even get an ending. Favorite member of the Gorma tribe? Shaddam. Speaking of burger, I'm heading over to Burger King. Enjoy. What time is it? 12:30. I've got to wrap this up soon since Silverquill will be over here in a little bit. How about you start a petition against Harmony Gold for the original? It's not going to matter. Russian, it doesn't matter. What is your opinion on the Real Soldier mech? I did like that the mechs could actually move. I will give the show that that the mech could move. Favorite Goosebumps monster? Other than Slappy, I don't even think Slappy's that great of a monster. He's not my favorite. My favorite Goosebump monsters are the Scarecrow, the Executioner from Night in Terror Tower, the Dead Girl from Camp Cold Lake, the Headless Ghost, I mean, I know he was just a cover monster, wasn't actually truly that way in the book, but I loved the Ghost Beach ghost on the book cover that Jacobus drew. Even though it ripped off the Twilight Zone, I did like the camera. Actually, Goosebumps ripped the Twilight Zone off quite a lot, which is probably why the Goosebumps books were so good and why the Twilight Zone was so good. Oh, the jack-o'-lanterns. The alien jack-o'-lanterns. They were freaking awesome. I can't remember Who was the other one? Who's the other one? I don't remember now. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, I like a lot of the Goosebumps monsters. Did you know that Legacy gets a lot of Armada toys? So I noticed. Yes, I will review Zerth some point. Comic question from Supreme Omega. Why do you like Batman War Games? So Batman War Games was one of the first Batman stories I ended up reading when I got back into DC Comics in 2005, and it was my introduction to Black Mask, and I just loved Black Mask. I love the concept that this war spoiler ended up causing this war because she couldn't find an important ingredient to this crime get together because it was Batman because it was Matches Malone. So I ended up loving war games. I don't know if I would if I were to reread it today. I don't know if I'd have the same opinion on it, but I thought it was a great series, and like I said, it was my introduction to Black Mask and what made me love Black Mask. I am tired of that take on Batman. My favorite Batman era is the Bronze Age era when Denny O'Neil and Marv Wolfman and um Denny O'Neil, Marv Wolfman, oh my god, the other guy, Len Wein were writing Batman. That's my favorite era of Batman, like the whole Ra's al Ghul stuff. But War Games, Hush, those were all things I read when I was getting back into DC Comics. Now I don't agree. I don't like what they were doing with Batman in the late 2000s up through Rebirth. I don't know if he's changed since Rebirth because Rebirth seemed to bring him more back to a peace of mind Bruce Wayne, but I don't know if they screwed that up after. What are your thoughts on those electric scooters? I have no opinion on them. Favorite Zorak moment in Space Ghost Coast to Coast? When he eats his nephew. I did not know it was Cartoon Network's 31st anniversary. That is pretty cool. But yeah, I remember when the first cartoon I saw on Cartoon Network, the day it launched, was when Bugs Bunny was playing the piano in Rabbit of Seville. About your politics on X, please calm down on political stuff. Nope, because you know what? One, X is not my X yet. When Musk makes you pay for Twitter, then it will become my X. But no, it's too funny to post on Twitter because people take things way too seriously on Twitter. Do you like dinosaur tanks a lot? Mac or oh, uh, Mac was from Return. Wait, Mac was from Return? Yes, Mac was from Return. I like them better. Worst things about Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Goofy Robotnik and his two robot sidekicks. Ricardo Productions, hi kaiju. 3-0 releases, Zero Ranger 5 figure. So I heard. Disney's writing is so terrible now. I just say it varies. It's not necessarily now, but also now that they're going to actually pay their writers properly, hopefully things will get better. Blazer's been great so far. Been really enjoying it. Who's more perverted, Roshi or Brock? I don't know Brock outside of an episode or two of Pokemon. I've never seen him actually downright grab a woman and stuff. So Roshi, do you think Naruto Rise of the Yokai Clan was inspired by Inuyasha? I have not seen Naruto Rise of the Yokai Clan. Do you think Taguchi is one of the best directors in tokusatsu? Not sure what he's done, Black Sun. What's your favorite Keita Amamiya work? Garo seasons 1 and 2 and Onimusha 2. Thoughts on the baby genius? Well, actually, he didn't write Onimusha 2 though. He only did the character designs. Because it's just like with Black, he did the character designs. Baby Geniuses movies, not familiar with them. Megalo Man, I have not heard of that. Why is Ultra 7 Sun called Ultraman Zero instead of Ultra 7 Zero? So from the way I've seen it, it seems like Ultra 7, they're a special like police force for the Ultras. They're like I'd say like the CIA, let's just say, for the Ultraman. So I'm assuming he's Ultraman Zero because he's not ranked to be part of the Ultra 7 group. That's how I look at it. That's how it's been, how I've felt it is based on for Ultra 7, that they're a specialized group within the Ultraman, within the Ultra world, the land of the light. A SWAT squad, as it were. So he's Ultraman Zero because he's not part of the Ultra 7 squad. My favorite Power Ranger series is SPD. My favorite Kamen Rider season is Blade. Would you do a Blu-ray on DVD collection video one day? Of like recording my collection? Yeah, at some point I will. I always mean to, and then I never do. I also have to do an updated collection in the figure room now that once I get all my Shotos that I've pre-ordered. Favorite Elf episode? I have never watched Elf. Sushi or fast food? Neither. I'm not a sushi person, so I guess fast food. No, Russian. I think he meant DVD release, not Blu-ray. Mr. Arrowverse 16. What's up, everyone? So, Kaiju, I'm watching Go Ranger, and I am on episode 36, but I got caught up watching Pokemon. Cool. Are you going to review Kamen Rider Amazon this year? It's not going to happen this year. I just don't have the time. Thoughts on Paul Rubens' death? Sucks. I mean, yeah, okay, sucks. I didn't know him though, so I mean, it is what it is. Favorite horror on Goro? Well, Chains of Love was such an awesome design. Actually, the movie horror from Makai no Hana. That is my favorite Garo horror. Live Man is one of probably my personal favorite Sentai of all time. It's probably my top 10. Nice. Flashman is my favorite son. I will totally buy Shotos of Flashman. I wouldn't mind getting the Shotos for Denjimon and Lifeman as well. I just don't know. I just don't have the money for them. Why 2010s were the weakest year of the mech genre? Is it because of the Gundam age or the over-reliance on CGI? I just don't feel like there were that memorable mech shows in the 2010s if you're talking anime. Design-wise, weren't that many well-done designs. Alba Ranger, for sure. How bad is Rio Soldier? It's really, really bad. You want a series that just Yeah, I already explained it. But yeah, it's a whole series of nothing. No, Chris, no. Mill Creek released Ultraman Max on DVD, not Blu-ray. Yes, I want a race of dinosaur tanks. I have not watched Zoram or Hokkaido. I saw part of Hokkaido, never saw the whole thing. Worst Pauly Shore movie? Any movie with Pauly Shore is bad. Favorite anime? Gankutsu, The Count of Monte Cristo, or Boogie Pop Phantom. But Gankutsu. Favorite Canadian actress of all time? I don't know which ones are specifically Canadian and which ones aren't. Um, so I don't have a specific favorite of all time. Rick Moranis is great though. I think he was Canadian. Nope, I have not watched Bleach. I lost interest in Bleach early on and never went back. I am not planning to review Kakaido anytime soon. And I have caught up with all the questions, which is probably perfect timing. So I can start finishing up to get ready for when we can go out to lunch with Silver Quill. At some point, I will check out Kakaider, but right now my focus is Sentai, Kamen Rider, and finishing up the last few stragglers from Mill Creek for Ultraman. Can you believe, though, I am done with everything Ultraman for main series-wise through the Heisei era? That is just amazing. And having 41 Sentai series done, reviewed, oh my god. That is so awesome. Best Kamen Rider villain. Best Kamen Rider villains of all time. Shadow Moon. Alright, but yes, I am going to head out. Keep an eye out for the review for the videos for this month. I'm going to try to get 4 videos out. We'll see what happens. But Jew on the Curse and a Resident Evil retrospective are most definitely on the table. Jew on the Curse 2 will hopefully happen unless I decide to combine the Curse 2 with the Curse, and maybe top 10 episodes of Night Gallery if I can get that. But anyway, and there will be some more Godzilla comic reviews because heaven forbid IDW keeps releasing Godzilla comics like weekly now, it seems like. Until next time, bye.